So in this video today, I'm going to walk you through 3 ways that AI and ChatGPT supercharges my productivity in the hopes that you can get something from the video and use it in your daily routine as well. Now, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm constantly managing different tasks for clients, communicating with contractors. I've got lists and lists and lists of things in my head going around all the time, and sometimes I just need an extra bit of help to keep me on track, to actually keep me focused, to keep me driving towards the end goal. And ChatGPT is probably one of the best things I've come across which actually helps me do this and helps me unstick myself when I'm starting to get a little bit stuck. So here's 3 ways that I use it on a day-to-day basis which actually helps me be more productive. The first way, sometimes I get emails from clients or from different people maybe wanting to do business with me. And you know when you read the email and you reread it again and you just don't understand it and you don't want to appear to be really stupid and repeatedly send the person questions? I get that as well. And it usually happens towards the end of the day when I'm feeling more tired. I'll get an email in and I'm like, I'm really not sure what this person is actually asking me to do. So the great thing about it is I ask ChatGPT instead, who gives me an instant answer. So for instance, I received an email from a client the other day. He was talking about funnels. He was talking about what he wants doing with some of his pages. I honestly didn't really know what he wanted. So I copied and pasted some of the information he sent in his emails straight over to ChatGPT and asked ChatGPT, what is my client asking me to do? And guess what? ChatGPT is actually summarizing the information I need to know and the action steps I need to take, and he's putting it in a little easy to understand message for me. This might seem very, very basic, but it's cut out like 1 to 2 emails between me and my client. My client might not even be awake because I work with people in different countries. So now I can just crack on with the task and say, hey, this is what you asked for. And guess what? That is exactly what he asked for. Number 2, now you've probably heard that your best hours of concentration and focus is at the start of the day. Literal books have been written around this. There's a book called Eat That Frog, which basically means you've got to lift the heavy rocks at the start of the day. So if you have big tasks, you should actually put them at the start of the day because your willpower is at the highest at the start of the day, and you have the least decision fatigue. As the days go on, you make less and less good quality decisions. It's actually science. Now the problem is sometimes I get to the end of the day and I need to be brainstorming something or, continually coming up with ideas, and honestly the tank is starting to get a little bit empty, which basically means I don't have any more fuel to come up with great ideas anymore. Luckily, ChatGPT is here to help me again as a brainstorming tool. I can type into it, write me some video ideas about how ChatGPT can keep me productive. And here we can see it's just creating a whole list of video ideas about how ChatGPT can actually keep me productive. None of which I'm actually going to use because I have my own ideas, but I'm giving you an example of just how it can help me with brainstorming. Sometimes you just get stuck on things and you just need somebody or something to actually start the cogs turning, which is exactly what ChatGPT and AI does. Number 3, it can actually help me code. I have no coding experience whatsoever, so I don't even understand the context of seeing code. It literally just looks like somebody scribbled on a page. And a great way to start learning something you don't know is to take a course or to start learning it, but the quickest way is to actually have a tutor teaching you it, because then you can ask questions on a one-to-one basis. You can say, what does this mean? What's the context of this? Luckily, ChatGPT fills that role. So here's some code here, which I just had no idea what it meant at all. And I've asked ChatGPT, what does this do? It then turns around to me and says that this code appears to be blah, 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 blah. And then I explain to it, well, if this code does this, I would like to have code that actually does something else. And then we have a big, long back and forth before I finally say to it, I do not understand, help me. And I've actually gotten ChatGPT to apologize here, which is obviously fantastic. Hopefully I've guilt-tripped ChatGPT for not explaining things in simple enough terms, but in case I haven't, I can once again go back to it and say, hey, this is still too complicated. Can you explain it to me in way simpler terms? Explain like I am 5. Okay, so you imagine you have a box filled with papers. You want to take all of the papers out of the box and put them in another box. The code you have is like a robot that is helping you take the papers out of the big box and put them in another box. This robot is looping using a big hand. Blah, blah, blah. So now I can say, thank you, ChatGPT. I finally get it. You have saved me. You're welcome. I'm glad I could help you understand the code. So now I've just learned way more than what I would do if I'd just taken like a course in coding. I've actually had somebody like draw parallels with something else I actually understand just so I can make the connection, which is pretty crazy, and it's something you would pretty much only get from a human being. And even then, they probably won't be able to draw parallels into the real world as quickly as that. So read into that what you want. So if you've got anything seriously complex that you just don't understand, type it into ChatGPT and the AI will actually simplify it for you and summarize it back to you, telling you the exact action steps that you need. If you're all out of ideas because you're just not a very creative person, or you're just tired and out of gas like me, get ChatGPT to brainstorm for you and come up with the ideas together. You can even tell it to actually recreate some of the ideas or reimagine some of the ideas it just actually gave you as an example. And number 3 as well, get it to teach you something. That doesn't just work on code, it actually works on different languages as well. You can copy and paste different languages into it and ask, how do you say this? And it will actually properly produce it rather than like Google Translate, which kind of gets it right. But as I found out from copying Google Translate into my essays in French when I was in school, it actually gets you 0 marks because it doesn't really make sense. It hasn't got the nuances of the actual language, but ChatGPT covers this. So hopefully you enjoyed that video. Hopefully you got something out of it, and hopefully you can start using AI to supercharge your daily routine. Some people out there are worried that AI is actually going to take over and leave everyone jobless, but we're a long way off that. But what it can do is supercharge your already existing skill set and make you better than what you currently are. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. See you in the next one.